How's it going, everybody? Happy Water Fast Wednesday. For those of you that don't know, it's my usual Water Fast day or Sunday too. But we're just gonna get started right into our evening satsang. Now, tonight's we're gonna really just heal, balance ourselves, and again dive deep and explore that inner knowing that is the self. So, just get cozy and start to relax, and we'll get started here. Now, again, we just want to start off with a nice deep breath and allow ourselves to take a nice deep exhalation, a sigh of relief. And with the tap of the bell, we want to chant out that divine and powerful Om, that universal presence, that beingness that we know as me, myself, and I, as we allow ourselves just to simply shift our attentions to the sound of the bell and our own voice. We allow each bell tap and each sound of our own Om to still the body, the emotions, and the mind. As we leave all happenings of the day and angst of the future simply at the door, as we allow ourselves to be here in this moment we all call now. And as all the energies begin to settle, we allow our attention to fade, listening to the bell as it drifts into silence. For it's here in this quiet emptiness we know ourselves as the silent observer. We simply allow ourselves to rest as the body operates effortlessly. It's here each of us has the potential to recognize our true position in this world. For all it takes is a moment of separation to witness and recognize that thoughts, emotions, and sensations of the body arise without your action. However, it's here we must understand that as goddesses and gods of creation, we give life to everything that we have in our life. It's here that we attach our own identity and our own entertainment to the imagination, and the mind is an activity. Some thoughts we easily and readily dismiss, but others seem to entrap us. Here I lovingly invite you into the space of the heart so you may see all from this true position of clarity and knowing, of silent observation, yet deep intuitive knowing. When we let go of our expectations, our assumptions, we cross the threshold into our pure being. For like an open black hole, an empty space, all we do is simply watch, simply observe silently. Yet whatever we shift our attention to, whatever we yearn for, we empower with our own divine light, thus manifesting whatever arises within us. Each internal phenomena operates like the wind, comes and goes, and has its own flow. But the mind tricks our own deeper self. And ultimately, we can know it as pulling at our heartstrings. For the wind of those emotions and sensations and thoughts can only really impact us if we allow ourselves to fly the kites of affection. Whatever you see, whatever you feel is what you want. It's what you choose. And there is no simpler truth than simply shifting your attention to something else if you want what bothers you to go away. All it takes is a subtle pivot, a slight change to your perception to alter how you digest and perceive this experience called life. Remain in the heart, for it is your true home. Even our own flying rock through space we know as home, called Earth, is but one letter shifted away from revealing that we are of the heart. But it's this space of love that is our true source of power and the sole source of our own destruction. So fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with your truth. And you shall forever be marinating in your own perfection. It's here we must understand that life simply is. And it's each of our own windows of awareness that interpret the views. So what happens when you start to see yourself and identify yourself as this silent observer, this silent witness? What happens when you firmly sit in your position of rest and still see thoughts, emotions, and sensations trying to distract you? It's here we must recognize. We observe our thoughts, we observe our emotions and bodily sensations just like observing the weather, just like witnessing life itself. However, when we invest our affection, our power of illumination into these lesser vibrations, we become intertwined in belief, which is nothing more than assumption. It's here we must understand that our own internal happenings act like different colored lenses, scattering and skewing the images of reality. And whatever feedback we receive from the external outside of our body, it gets refracted and bounced around before it comes to that center space called I. We can know these lenses as conditionings, learned behaviors, learned ideologies, expressions of emotion and action. And we soak them up like a sponge when we were children. And they are crafted from our pains and traumas and the oftentimes ignorances of success. But we must allow ourselves to remain undisturbed, to rest within our own pureness. This sense of self, this sense of I am, the sense of pure being without any adjective, without any nouns. For it's here we come to know ourselves before we were identified with a given name. It's here we come to understand ourselves as this dynamic, empty yet full energy we know as consciousness. And it's in this powerful source of light that we give this body, this vessel, life. All it takes is a single moment, a single breath to recognize your true position. But you must let go. You must be willing to let go of everything you think you are and dive deep into the unknown waters of your own beingness. And know and rest assured that you will be welcomed with a loving embrace of truth. For your sense of self, your sense of me never goes away. But it becomes more pure as you drop away and let go of everything that is unoriginal to you. And it's here we feel ourselves radiating from our chest, our center point of not only the physical body, but our energy body. And we become the illuminating force of light and life and love in our own experience. Take a long, deep inhalation through the nose, expanding that lower diaphragm and belly, and simply resting with the breath as long as you can comfortably before allowing the breath to drop away into exhalation. And allow yourself to relax and let go with each breath. 2 more times again, we take a nice deep inhalation, simply observing the different sensations of the form at a distance. And over time, allow yourself to not keep track of the breath, but allow the body to take control on its own. So again, you may better observe that you are the rider upon this horse we know as the physical form. And just like the riders and cowboys and cowgirls of old, you're not the one walking the trail, but the body is. Last deep breath. So what is it your horse strays away from the path? What often gets it to run away? It's here we must recognize that these are nothing but conditionings of the mind and the body. And when we no longer give them our attention, they drop away. For nothing inside of you can be anything without your love and affection towards it. You are the creator of your experience. And as stated, life happens, but you choose how to respond to it. It is a choice in how you choose to express yourself and treat others. And if there is a conflict within the heart and your actions to yourself and others, you must recognize it's not from your truth. Filter each thought and sensation with the question, does this stem from fear or love? For such a distinction will be your compass. Such a distinction will allow you to see through the tricks of the mind and body. For the ego itself operates in separation. So separate yourself from its identity and attachment. And that is your power. But most importantly, that is your birthright. In life, we become attached to this body. We become attached to the ego. But know that they are one and the same. For your ego expresses the personality of your true spirit and soul. But like any spoiled child, it will not want to give up its toy. However, we know this is the act of tough love that one needs. Control, restraint, discipline, consistency, dedication. These are the characteristics of your pureness. But most importantly, effortlessness, love, and joy will always shine through. So you must fall in love with yourself, your pure self, your true self, without any of the learned behaviors and conditionings. For in our current world, we are born at an imbalance, solely identifying and living in the realm of matter, of the body, of this human form. Yet even when we awaken to our inner truth and observe those peaks and glimpses behind the veil, oftentimes many rock back to purely remain in their spirit and become disconnected from this beautiful home, become disconnected from experiencing this beautiful gift of life. But all dualities sit upon the fulcrum of the I am presence within you, the beingness, the pure knowing of I and me. For the ultimate characteristic of our pure self and pure nature is harmony, balanced. No matter the raging storm, you walk upon it with grace and joy and love. No matter the rain and the clouds, your illuminating presence disperses all around you, so that the warmth and loving rays of light guide you and illuminate your presence and experience. For it's here we come to understand each of us represents that spark of this one eternal fire. Each of us is but the many expressions of the one universal and cosmic energy that is ever present. And no matter what happens, we must come to recognize you are that divine presence. You are your own source of illumination. You are your own well of truth. And that is the beauty of this grand expression we can call life. For each of us is but a unique expression of the one. For your essence is the universal essence, and such energies can never be destroyed nor created. For when you came into this experience, you were granted with this loving opportunity to come to understand yourself and the source of all. You are love and life itself. You are strength and power embodied. But you must use your gift of free will and creation wisely. For even if you choose harm upon another, wrong to another, it can only come into this world through traveling through you. And in a sense, you give a little bit of your life away with each expression of otherness. And know that no matter what anyone else says or does to you, you can either take it on or let it wash over you. For it is your power to choose or deny. But ultimately, never forget you are the rider, and this body is but the horse. The emotions, the sensations, and the thoughts that arise within your vessel are not just yours. For even thoughts and emotions act like clouds of energy. Your mind is like an open mic, open to suggestion. Like a radio, you can tune it to different stations or simply turn it off and embrace the eternal presence within you. It's with my own love that I extend these olive branches of compassion. And if you accept, so you may experience this love overflow and radiate and shine. For each of us are connected through this gateway, this portal of the heart. For each road leads to the mountaintop. And each of us is connected to the source of all, energy entwined and entangled in one another. So come to feel this intense intimacy that is life. Absent of separation and otherness. So you may come to experience the oneness that is love and truth and the essence of our being. And know this as your true home and true position. Know that silence as the space that is ever present within you, for it is you. And know that it is your power of free will and manifestation that creates and gives life to all within you and outside of you. Allow yourself to come home, for it never left you. For as the saying goes, home is where the heart is. And know that your true home, your heart, is but a radiating star, like our own sun, shining from us, warming us up from the inside and radiating our loving rays outward. Allow yourself to assert this knowing into the core of your beingness so you may ever come back and forever remain in this realm of the heart. And as the tap of the bell hits, we chant out the divine Om to strengthen, to largen, to brighten our own shine as our own energy field becomes cleansed, purified with our own inner truth and inner knowing. In this light of love that we are and that all is. Simply take a moment if you need to just marinate and relax within your own pureness. And know that this warmth, this love, this goodness, that's what you are. That's what we all are. So namaste. I bow to that divine loving light within you. And it's here that we can ultimately come to know that every one of us, every being, every life form stems from that same space of the heart as your own sense of self and beingness arises from. And that's the beautiful gift of this great experience called life, is we have the ability to, well, I guess we could say we have the ability and the opportunity to awaken to this knowing, to experience the polarity, the duality experience from being invested into this body, and that every emotion and sensation and thought is intimate because we misperceive it as ourselves, to this loving and blissed out experience of being spirit and energy and life itself. But it's that fulcrum or that balancing point in which that seesaw of duality goes back and forth upon that. When we focus on that, we're forever balanced. And that's the beautiful opportunity that each being has in this world, to experience our own transformation. And like one of those little Russian dolls, it just reveals another layer inwards. And that's one of the reasons why I like the term unfoldment, because like a lotus flower, those outer layers fold back first to reveal the inner blossom. And that's so much of what happens in our experiences. We peel back these layers, we take off these jackets of conditioning and come to experience our truth. And that ultimately is the power of this experience called life. That each being can navigate a playground of understanding about ourselves. And when we're ready, we take that layer off and explore another. Each of us has this beautiful opportunity to recognize and discover something new about ourselves with each moment, with each breath. And that's the power of experience. That's the loving gift we each received when we come into this world. Is this chance to transform, to recognize, and to experience. And I'm letting you know right now, when you fall in love with your deeper truth, life just flows and becomes effortless. And that's one of the coolest things about it, is that your life and your experience, it gets a lot easier. This is why I like the term level up, because when you let go of attachment, when you let go of certain conditionings, when you remove those lenses, your vibration, your energy state, if you want to think about it physically, you resonate at a different level. You literally ascend. That's where the term ascension comes from, is that you are dialing it up. You're turning your things up to from 10 to 11. You just keep ascending and growing, and you no longer have to deal with the problems that you once had. And it doesn't mean all problems go away. That's just not how life works. But then again, your perception changes, so it's not really a problem anymore. It becomes a fun little opportunity, a fun little obstacle, a fun little proving ground or jungle gym to test your skills. And that's the exciting thing about life, is that when you come to really be accountable for your own experience, the inner and the outer, you embark on this path of transformation naturally, and there's nothing more rewarding. For the ultimate satisfaction is our own truth, that light of love. And I didn't have any questions today, so one of the things that I really just want to say is I love you so much. Thank you for joining. And again, you are that light of truth and love within your own life. No one can take that away from you unless you give them the power to. But most importantly, don't allow the lesser vibrations, your body, don't allow the suggestions of it to take your own power away, because you're giving it willingly under a misperception. So may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. Again, I love you so much. Have a great night, and I'll see you Sunday for another Satsang in our summer series. Have a good night. Peace.